Wyoming East Lady Warriors came into tonight looking to defend their state title and go back-to-back in the last game of the last day of state championship Saturday. Their foe, number 2 seed Williamstown Lady Yellow Jackets, and let me tell you, they gave the Lady Warriors all they could handle, came down to the final minute. They'll definitely be back here and trying to make some noise next March, but you know, it's just the Hokies showed why they have the experience from last March, making it to the Final Four, and now this March trying to show it even without Liz Kitley on the floor. We had 3 local teams compete here at the West Virginia Softball State Tournament, with all 3 vying for their first ever state championship, but they all end up seeing their seasons end. In the end, just prior to the slide shot, they're at 157 pounds at the moment. Haas is 150, so his match just ended, and he would ultimately fall to David Burks by a 12-10 decision of Strasburg. Tristan Haas now is state runner-up for 3 straight years. Now, for the 14th time, the Marshall Thundering Herd took on the Virginia Tech Hokies here at Lane Stadium. As once was a sellout crowd, as you can see, the seats are filing out now. But the Herd took this matchup last year, but the Hokies hold the all-time series record. So who would prevail today? Well, let's check out the highlights. Well, it might be November 1st. It's getting a little spooky for some teams' playoff chances, and that's what brings us here to Tazewell, as the Tazewell Bulldogs host the Graham G-Men for our game of the week. As you can see, teams warming up right behind me. As now East ball, less than a minute. Clark gets some space, passes to Monroe. She fakes the shot. Baker wide open underneath. East has the lead, and after a few free throws, East wins in comfort behind fashion. A 15-0 run to end. Warriors win 46-42 and are state champions once again. The final minute, Shady inbounding. Nobody picks up. Gavin Davis wide open. Tied game at 49, and we'd head to overtime. The Tigers make their free throws down the stretch to finish it off, and Shady Spring wins the state championship. The Tigers defeat the Polar Bears 58-55. But here we go. Now, West up 26-25 when the serve goes up for Dean, and the senior wins it. The Charmcoat Lady Cavaliers take home the single-A state championship in 4 sets. Not only the first ever volleyball state championship, but first state championship ever for a girls' sport in Greenbrier West history. Now, final 3 minutes of regulation. Wilson Hanna has it on the wing, centers it to the box where Graham Loy is there all alone and ties it up 2-all. So we go to overtime and get to even second overtime here when A.J. Bishop collects it off the high ball, passes to Michael Faya, and passes it directly back to Bishop, who gets it by the keeper for the golden goal, 2 overtime game winner. Final play of the day here when Barker takes the snap. He'll just look downfield, rolling around the pocket, and just heaves one down with no time to go, and it's caught. Somehow, some way, the Tigers come down with it. Jennings gets it as they haul in the Hail Mary to stay undefeated, winning 48-47. Yes, Trayvon Cooper was having enough of that. He wanted to join the dunk party, gets the steal, and slams it with some authority. Plus, the foul fans going crazy after that one. Mountain Lions, they give us to Brown, who takes it the short distance for the score, plus the little Selly for the camera. Concord on top 7-0. To the 7th, Indy threatening with the bases loaded, and Cole Cunningham draws a walk. Brand new ball game, 3-3. Where the next batter is Deegan Williams, and he skies one to center field. Braden Kiblinger on third, and he'll tag from third. The center fielder catches it, and Kiblinger races home, and the Patriots have the lead in the bottom of the inning. Warden locks up the Generals, gets the strikeout, ends the game, and Independence takes down the defending champs, defeating Winfield 4-3. That's right. The Friday night lights on the road to the high school football playoff have been turned back on by the West Virginia State Supreme Court of Appeals, as the litigation and issues stems from last December when the decision was made to move 5 sports, including football, to a 4-class system and reclassified every single school across to certain standards, which included economy, location, and enrollment. As the satisfied teams challenged the legality of the changes 2 weeks ago, and now those challenges have been dismissed. I talked to you at 5 p.m. earlier. It was not coming down as much as it is tonight here at Mitchell Stadium. And the reason we're out here at Mitchell, instead of where our original game of the week was supposed to be up in Coal City, as the Independence Patriots and Janesboro Mavericks game in the AA state tournament was pushed back to now Sunday at 4 p.m. But we still have football here in the Mountain State. It was an eventful 6 hours, to say the least, on the greens today, as it all started at the regular time it was supposed to, at 1:15 but at 1:30 you could really see the rain start to come down, and at 1:40 that's when play was paused until it resumed at 3 p.m. Now, Christian and I both saw a bevy of golfers today. We're in the end of day one. Taylor Gooch, alongside his teammate of Team Smash and Jason Kokrak, were tied at the top of the leaderboard at 7 under. Thanks, Martin. Yeah, after a non-scheduled week off due to Hurricane Helene, we're back for the Week 6 edition of Football Friday, as we have a loaded slate tonight, but it's highlighted by our game of the week. That'll be kicking off at 7 p.m. right here in Oak Hill as the Oak Hill Red Devils take on the Independence Patriots for the 27th time. Now, Martin, I'll toss things back over to the studio. Well, it might be November 1st, but we still wanted to get into the Halloween spirit for our 10th week edition of Football Friday. John Surratt alongside Christian Raposo. The two Virginias may not have a national reputation for its golf, but our October Athlete of the Month is making his name known and putting the Graham High School golf team on the map. It's all thanks to his play on the links in Floyd, Virginia 2 weeks ago. State championships are a staple for Graham High School, but that title is far more rare when it comes to the school's golf team. 2013 is the last time they won the top spot. But McCartney Hinkle led the charge to change that on October 14th, finishing just one shot over par at the Great Oaks Country Club. Hinkle became Graham's first ever individual state champion, an achievement that took the young golfer by surprise. It's the first individual state title in school history. Really? And while Hinkle is proud to enter the sports history books for his high school, this has been a work in progress for him ever since he picked up a pair of clubs in 5th grade. He says the things his father taught him about golf is what put him on the path to winning a state title.
Well, he's pretty much guided me in almost anything I've ever done in my life, and golf's no different. I feel like I trust him more than anybody with my swing and just in general how I play.
It hasn't been an easy street to get to the top of his game at the high school level. In his sophomore year, Hinkle suffered a catastrophic leg injury while riding his bike with his little brother.
And the tire came off and it slid out, and I hit my knee against the pavement and I broke my leg in 3 places.
Hinkle says he had to take baby steps on his road back to competitive play.
But yeah, last year I played my first few high school matches with only irons because that's all I was allowed to swing. And by the district tournament, I was allowed to swing a driver. That was my first time.
As Colby Hill, his head coach, shares how much resiliency it took for McCartney to get back in the game.
It was a huge bounce back. Missed probably 40–50% of the season without even being able to swing a club. So that says a lot. It says a lot about your game and a lot about your mental toughness, too.
Hinkle overcame his injury, and by his junior year, he went back to work, racking up accolades, winning the Southwest District Tournament and being named Region 2D Golfer of the Year. Those achievements translated into some pressure heading into the state final.
It was a little bit nerve-wracking because coming after last year, a lot of people told me that this is your year, this is your year.
But despite some rough conditions in Floyd, after Hinkle birdied his first hole, he knew it was going to be a good day.
But after I got out there on the range, on the putting green, got to hit my first tee shot, I knew it was going to. I felt at home, and I felt it was going to work out.
And while Hinkle wants to go to college for golf and potentially professionally when it's all said and done, the job's not finished for him nor the team for his final go-around at Graham.
I would love for McCartney to get back-to-back to obviously be the only one to do that. So I would love for him to repeat. Well, definitely going in my senior year, we finished a few shots short of the team title. So it's definitely next year we will definitely want to try to win it all as a team.